My name is Roger Clausen. I was born and raised on a farm not too far from here. Went through high school at Holstein High, class of 1944, and went to the Navy in 1945 for a short one-year stint. Came back and went to college and graduated from the University of Denver in 1950. Then I met my lovely wife in 1951, I think it was, and we got married in 1952. My career was going to be running a lumberyard in Holstein, Iowa, but I kind of got aced out of that through my stints in the service and college. And we decided to build a little building across the street from the lumberyard and start to make countertops. So we called it Van Top. The original building was 2,800 square feet, a building 40 by 70 with a showroom and an office in front and some equipment in the back. We had 2 employees in the beginning, and when I started this company, I said, we're not going to work on Saturdays, but we did work 10 hours a day, 5 days a week, and it was 7 in the morning till 6 at night. In May, we produced our first countertops in 1956. We had a customer in Rochester, Minnesota at that time, called Johnson Millwork, and he had a contract for 100 and some houses. He built the kitchen cabinets, and he was going to buy the tops from us. The first tops we made for that job, we cut, assembled, and cut the sinkholes, and put the caps on, and did all that stuff here in Holstein. Wrapped it in cardboard, boxes that we had bought for that. Shipped it to him by common carrier. And the first shipment got there, and Al Johnson called up and he says, I got a pile of kindling wood here. Now, what do you want me to do about it? And so I got in the car the next day and drove to Rochester. And sure enough, the tops were they were broken. They couldn't use them. So we sat and talked and had a few drinks that night, and I said, what would happen if I'd supply a saw that you could cut the miters and cut the tops to length, and you go ahead and do the sinkholes and put the caps on, because he worked with laminate before. If we just bring you straight lengths of 8, 10, whatever you need on a truck for part of the job, he says, God dang, that sounds like a pretty good idea to me. I got to thinking, God darn, we can put a saw in Omaha, and we can probably put one in Kansas City, and so then we started putting our own distribution points into those cities where we didn't have a customer. That was the birth of what we call the blank business. Well, the Formica Corporation again, and Ralph Reed came to us and wanted us to fabricate doors for hospitals and schools and that type of thing. And of course, we didn't know anything about doors, but the Formica Corporation had put together they called it an authorized door program. And if you followed their instructions, you could be in the door business. And we started doing that back in the early 60s. And we had a press down there. We could press 28 doors a day. So we could do about 100 a week if we were lucky. Doug and I started going to the woodworking machinery shows in Europe and saw all these wonderful machines that can do everything. And so we started on a buying binge at that point, and have, we think, the most automated plant in the United States for manufacturing doors. And we had started a post-forming operation in Houston, Texas. And as soon as Doug got out of college, we sent him to Houston to run that plant.
Well, my name is Doug Clausen. Went to Creighton University back in the 70s. Graduated from college in 77, and I think we had graduation on Saturday or Sunday, whatever it was, and Monday morning I was headed to Houston, and that was our first branch manufacturing plant, and took my first position there as a general manager of that facility. I became president of the company in 1989 and took over responsibilities for the overall operations at that time. My first position back at corporate headquarters was to bring us out of the Stone Ages, I guess, and install our first computer system. So innovation has been a very important part of our success in the past and will continue to be an important part of our growth in the future. The key to any company's success is their employees, and we've been very fortunate all through our business life here to have great people working for us. You cannot be successful without great people, and we've been very fortunate. Much of my success through business I've learned from my father, and he's been a big part of my success. We've worked together now for 30 years. Every business is a penny business. And I think that's the first lesson I learned probably in business was from my father when I left a penny lay on the floor of a car and got a little talking about that deal. But the countertop business, every business is a penny business, and a penny a foot, a half a cent a foot. That's what we have to find to be successful. Continued growth is the key to any business's ultimate success. You can never rest on your laurels or try and stand in place, and the future of the company depends on continued development, innovation, whether it's new products, new plants. We're continuously looking for new avenues to increase our value to the consumers that we're dealing with, our customer base. That's part of the future. It's going to be fun, I think, and looking forward to it. To be continued, correct.